Okay. I am back. Don't tell me to. Okay, no, it's working. I figured I could try. Because, like, my throat's not too bad. I think, if anything, it still feels a little spicy because I had curry. Lingering spice. Yeah, if anything, could go to, like, 8 and do something after.
Aria さん、いちこのことをすごく信頼してるんだね。
Aria really trusts you, doesn't she, Ichiko? It was a peaceful day, just before noon. We were enjoying some sweet, crisp watermelon. Sui stared at me with this look of admiration on her face as I told her everything that happened last night.
前にいた女中さん、
The housemaid that was here before
山田
you,
さん
I
だったっ
think
け？
that was Miss Kamada?
たまに話
I
すこ
would
とも
talk
あ
to her
った
every
け
now and
ど、
then, but I never
そんな話
heard about
一度
anything
も聞
like
かなかった
that.
もん。きっと相手がいちこだか
I
ら、
think she's able to
安
show
心
you
し
her
て
true
ちょっとお
self,
かしな
even
素
her strange
顔も見せら
sides,
れるん
because
だ
of who
よ。
you are, Ichiko.
お
Maybe
かし
strange is
い
a bit
なは
much? Sui laughed uncomfortably as she said that, but I couldn't help but laugh along with her. I guess it's hard to see it as anything but a strange incident when you bear the facts laid out like that. But there was something that I still haven't told Sui. It was about the time we spent laughing together under the moonlight. Even her ill-tempered side is incredibly cute and charming. My heart was pounding. I want to tell her all about it and share my excitement. Just thinking about it makes my heart melt like a piece of chocolate left out in the sun. But when I felt ready to say it, I hesitated.
昨日は
Everything that
私が
happened
偶然気づ
yesterday
いただけだから
happened totally by
信頼はあん
chance.
まり関係ない
Maybe
かもし
trust
れ
has
ない
nothing
け
to
ど
do
ね。
with it.
怪我もさせちゃったし、
She even hurt
申し訳
herself
なくて。
too. Felt so bad.
ああ、膝？
Oh, her knee?
そう。
Yeah.
明
When
る
I
いと
got
こ
to
ろ
see
で
it
見
in
た
the
ら
light,
肌が
I
少し
noticed
え
that
ぐ
the
れて
skin
て。
was a bit gouged.
痛そう。
Ah, that sounds awful.
噴水って
That fountain's
石
made
で
of
できてる
stone,
よ
right?
ね。
That
砂利
part
だ
is
ってあるだ
probably
ろう
made
し、
of gravel.
膝のお皿
I'm
が
just
割
glad
れ
she
なく
didn't
てよ
bust
か
up her
ったね。
kneecap. Ugh, I
そん
can't
なの
even think
想
about
像したら。
that. We both shivered in unison as we looked at each other with grimacing expressions.
あ
Sheesh. Oh, do you want some more
ー、
watermelon?
え、ああ、じゃ
Oh,
あ、
sure.
塩かける？
Want salt on it?
お願いします。
Please. She handed me the watermelon with the grimace lingering on her face.
そういえば、
By the way,
油絵
how's the
の
oil
調子は
painting?
どう？
Going well?
やっ
I
と
think
うまくい
I'm
き始
finally
めたと
starting
こ
to
ろ
hit my
か
stride
な。
with it.
完
It's still
成まで
going
は
to
ま
be a
だ時
while
間が
before
か
I
かりそう。
finish, though.
そっか。
Understandable.
ね、
Hey, will you
完
show
成
it
し
to me
た
when
ら
you're
見
done?
せてくれるよね。
You
見たい？
want to see it?
もちろん。
Of
見たいに
course.
決ま
How
って
could I
るじゃ
not want
ん。
to?
写
How
真
about your
帳の方
sketchbook?
は？
Draw
最
anything
近何
lately?
か書いたりして。前にどこまで見せたっけ？
I'm trying to remember how much I showed you last time. I pulled out my sketchbook and started flipping through the pages. That's when I noticed that after flipping through sketches I've seen many times over, the sketch of Arya bathed in the moonlight suddenly appeared. My heart made a huge, loud thump. It really was stunning, like a dream. If I didn't have the wherewithal to draw this, I might have convinced myself that it really was a dream. I'm so glad I drew this. I don't know if I can show it off, though. This strange feeling began to well up inside me, like this was something that was both embarrassing and something I should keep to myself.
これは気に入ってるかも。
I kind of like this one.
油絵のモチ
I
ー
did
フ
a
を
sketch
見
of
つ
the
けるため
garden
に
to use
庭で
as a
描いたね。
motif for an oil painting.
これ
Wow,
って
is this the inner
庭
garden?
の奥の方？うん。
Yep.
へえ。
Oh,
こん
I
な
didn't
場所
even
があ
know
るん
that
だ。
was there. Those flowers are
綺麗だな。
gorgeous.
いい
I love that
ね。
it feels like
夏の雰囲
summer.
気があっ
It's a
て。
great piece. I get so embarrassed when people stare at my art, but still, I'm happy. Sui's face is totally lit up.
ねえ、スイ。
Hey, Sui.
今日はもう出なきゃダメ。
Do you have to get going soon?
うん。
Nope,
そん
I
な
don't
ことない
have
け
to,
ど。
but why do you
なん
ask?
うーん
It's nothing, just
もし
if
時
you
間
have
を
some
くれるな
time,
ら
I'd love to
線
draw
を
you,
描いてみ
Sui.
たいなって。
What?
私
Me? No, 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 no. There's no way someone could draw
私
me.
ならないもん。なんで
What do you
描け
mean?
ば誰でも絵になる
Anyone can be drawn like this. That's
そ
not
う
what I
いう意味
meant.
じゃなくて。ダメ
You don't want me
スイ
to?
カを食べ
I'd
てる
honestly
スイ
love to draw
描い
you,
てみたい
enjoying
な
a slice of watermelon.
それってダジャレ
Are you messing
ま
around?
あ嫌っ
I
て
mean,
わけじ
I'm
ゃない
not
けど
totally put off by the idea.
本
I
当
just.
に私
Are
なん
you
かでいい
totally sure
の
you're okay with drawing me?
もちろん
Of
スイがいい
course.
の
I'd love to draw you.
そう
Really? In that
だったら
case, go ahead.
やった
Yes.
早速
Okay, then let's.
えっ
So he totally froze before taking her bite of watermelon as she nervously looked around the room.
スイカ食べて大丈夫だよ
You can eat the watermelon now.
いいの
Are you
本当に
sure it's okay? Aw, come
もう
on.
仕方ないでしょ
I can't help it.
モ
I've
デル
never
なん
had
て
to be a
初め
model
てなんだか
before.
ら
And that's that.
できた
Thank you so much for
協
doing
力
this
して
for
くれ
me.
てありがとう見てもいい
Can I take a look?
もちろん
Of course.
これ
Oh, you
今描い
really
たんだ
just
よ
drew
ね
this, didn't you?
そうみ
I
たい
can't believe it. You really drew me.
本当に
I'm so happy. Thanks for making me look cute, Ichiko.
かわいい
I've only ever copied stuff like movie posters up until recently. I had no idea that it was this fun to draw people.
モデルが魅力的だからかな
Well, I did have an amazing model to work with. I stopped cleaning for a moment to flip through the pages. I really have Aria and Sui in my sketchbook.
ダリアの絵をちゃんと完成させられたら
Once I finish the
油
Dahlia
絵で
painting,
も二人の
I'd
ことを
really
描い
love
て
to
みたい
paint them
な
too. I was just standing there, muttering to myself. Hmm? I heard a noise coming from the first floor, so I peeked down the stairs. Oh, it's Miss Yoshino. Is she carrying drinks? Looks like their guest is still here, even though he came earlier this afternoon. I wanted to clean the downstairs windows, but I guess I won't be able to today. I should just focus on cleaning upstairs for now. There's so many things. Looks like there's another huge car parked in the driveway again today. Ah, that's the phone ringing. Should I go and try to find Mr. Amane? No way, that'll take way too long. I guess I'll just have to answer instead. Hold on a second. Don't hang up.
はいもしもし
Hello.
おみきさん、どうもご無
Is
沙汰
this
してます。
Omiki? How
モー
are
リー
you?
弁護士事
I'm
務所の
calling
者
from
で
the
すが
Mori law firm. Law firm? Why did they ask for someone named Omiki?
あの
Oh,
失
I'm
礼ですが
terribly sorry,
うち
but
に
nobody by
オ
that
ミキという
name
もの
lives
は
here.
おり
You
ま
must
せん
have dialed the
お
wrong
そらく
number.
おかけ間違いでは
Wait, those papers on the desk must be...
ああ、でしたら、
Ah, in that
は
case...
いでは失礼しま
If
す
you'll excuse me.
Eh.
I...
Oh.
Hmm,
あ
that was
危な
close.
かった
I was about to
すべてバラバラ
collapse
に
there.
なっちゃうかと
Yeah. Feels so rude for cutting them off like that. They're the one who dialed the wrong number. Whatever, it's fine. What's this paper? Someone drew a... Wait, is this a dahlia? Did Miss Aria draw this?
そっかお嬢様って
I guess art really isn't Miss Aria's strong suit. No, the worst. I really shouldn't be laughing. I think I'll just pretend I didn't see that. I feel like the smell of tatami mats gets stronger at night. Probably because the heat is trapped. Exciting. Oh, this is that book that Miss Aria was reading the other day. The latest in high fashion, When I Was a Virgin. Who's the author? Oh, Lady Byakuren? Byakuren? I think she's that famous poet, isn't she? What was her name? Yanagihara Byakuren? It's a picture book. The use of colors, the illustrations, it's also stylish. There's even songs and poems for various holidays in here, like Girls' Day, Tanabata, and more. Oh, even Christmas. Just reading the words on the page made me feel the joys of winter, which is strange to experience on such a hot summer day. I wonder if Miss Aria felt the same thing when she was reading it. As I randomly flipped through the pages, many vague ideas started popping up in my mind. Oh, it's a photo. A photo titled Iris Bath that was slipped in between the pages caught my eye. Is this girl in the photo Miss Aria? Even though she was just an innocent young girl, she looked so refined. The woman next to her, whom I'm assuming is her mother, had the same kind of beautiful narrow eyes as Aria. She's so cute, but her hair looks kind of white. I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if some people's hair color changes as they get older. Not that drastically. I need a chair. Now I have to take off my shoes. I really should clean these high up, hard to reach areas more often. Wow, they even have areas that are hard to see properly decorated. Much to my surprise, though, it isn't very dusty. A feather duster could make quick work of this. That was when something suddenly caught my eye. I noticed a framed postcard that stopped me in my tracks. It was of a dark and gloomy oil painting. It had this strange aura that took my breath away. Is that an angel? I'm not sure if it was a girl or boy depicted there, but they're being carried on a gurney, blindfolded, with blood dripping down their back from where wings have grown out. What's with this piece? It feels like I'm witnessing Miss Aria having an awful experience, and my heart aches just looking at it. It must be a lot of work for Miss Aria to wash her hair. If she'd just ask, I'd be more than happy to help her wash and dry it. But she's not a kid anymore, so I wonder if that would be weird for her. I really would do anything to help her, though. Yeah, I guess it is pretty weird to think this way about someone who is clearly more fortunate in life than I am. Just looking at brushes and paints in and of itself is so much fun. One of these days, I'd love to go to a fancy art supply store and pick out some things for myself. It's so hot that I started spacing out. I think I'll open the window a bit. I'm so curious about what Miss Aria was like as a child. I wonder if there's other photos lying around. Even though I know it's not okay to just go through other people's belongings without their permission, I couldn't help myself and started flipping through various books. Nothing. Maybe there's some in these drawers? I've never seen them use these before, but... It won't open. Maybe it's locked? What could possibly be in there? This has me more curious than the photos. I've never seen art quite like this in my entire life. Hmm? It felt like my foot bumped into something, so I peered down to check it out.
イヤリング
An earring.
おまね
This
さ
can
ん
be Mr.
じゃないよ
Amane's?
ね
Maybe it's
吉
Miss
野さんのでも
Yoshino's.
とりあえ
Either
ず
way,
机
I
の上
think
に
I
置い
should
と
just leave
こ
it on the desk. Excuse me.
ダメだ
I hate this. I just want to keep working, but then I remembered the photo I saw in Aria's room, and now I can't stop thinking about it. Why was her hair like that? Was it because of some illness? How old was she in that photo? I also can't help but wonder when her mother passed away. Jeez. I hate myself so much when I just stand around making up assumptions about things that are so deeply personal for someone. But despite all that, my curiosity only continued to intensify. Maybe it'd be better to just ask her instead of prying into these things in
だ
secret.
けど急に
But
踏み込ん
what
だ
if she
ことを
gets
聞い
upset
て
with me for asking
失わ
such
れた
personal questions out of the blue?
は
Feeling totally disgusted with myself for being so impudent, yet so cowardly, I let out a long, deep sigh.
あうん
Saddled with guilt, I took a peek down the stairs. You could hear a pin drop down there, so it seems like the guests still haven't come out yet. I can't keep doing this. I need to distract myself, otherwise my mind is going to run wild.
今はあまり気が乗らないけど
Not that I have the wherewithal to do that. In that moment, I decided to return to the guest room to continue painting. That was when I remembered the painting I saw earlier. The one of the angel that made me think of Aria. When I think of how she looked when she was little, it makes it all feel even more similar. I wonder whose painting that is. Maybe it's in one of these art books around here.
もしかしたらあのポストカードの
Or
裏に
maybe there's
作
some
品名が
information
書いてあ
about
る
the
かも
artist on the back of the postcard? I quietly made my way back to Amane's room and grabbed the frame with the postcard in it. The boy carrying the angel is looking right at me. Honestly, it's a rather unsettling gaze. Looking over the postcard once again, I suddenly got this strange feeling as I placed my fingernail onto the clasp on the back of the frame. At the very least, I hope it has the artist's name. What
これって
this is... When I opened up the frame, something I never could have seen coming suddenly jumped out at me.
あまねさんとお嬢様
It's Mr. Amane and Miss Aria. It looks like a photo of them taken at a photo studio. Aria appears to be a little bit older in this one than she was in the other photo.
この時もまだ髪の
Even
色
at
が
this
明
point,
るい
her hair was still a very light color. I could see color in the monochrome. Her beautiful, light-colored eyes seem like they haven't really changed much.
あまねさんはちょっと雰囲気が違う
Something feels a bit different about Mr. Amane, though.
あそっか義眼になる前
Hmm,
だから
I
瞳の色
guess
が
this was
暗い
before
ん
he
だ
got his prosthetic eye.
でも
So that's why both eyes are still
Wanda.
dark. But
そ
still,
れだけじゃない
I
気
feel
が
like
す
there's
る
something else going on here, too.
わかったほくろが
Oh, her mole.
なるほど。
I see.
そうです
Is
か
that what happened? I could hear voices coming from downstairs as people left the room. Then my heart skipped a beat when I heard Amane's voice.
ええぜひ
Of
庭も
course,
ご覧
please
ください
enjoy the garden too.
アリアさん、今
I will hold the
日傘をお持ち
parasol for you, Miss Aria. Thank you,
もう
but
備え
there's no
中
need. The sun has already gone down. It was like something was caught in my throat. My hands were trembling as I quickly put the photo back where I found it. Something's weird. Something's not right. A creepy, disturbing feeling weighed heavily on my heart. I waited for a bit till I could hear all of their voices fade off into the distance, then raced back to my room as fast as I could.
ほくろ。
Her mole. Flipping through my sketchbook, I found the drawing I made of Arya with that sweet, gentle look on her face. Just as I thought, I drew her with a small mole on her neck. I hadn't thought about it too much until now, but there was something that, when I imagined Arya and Amane, appeared clear as day in my mind.
あの写真の天音さんには
But Mr. Amane didn't have it in that photo. Maybe that just means the mole he has now just naturally appeared at some point after that.
それとも
Or
書い
maybe
てる
it's drawn
じゃな
on?
かったら入れ
Not
墨
that.
とか
Maybe it's a tattoo or something? But if that's the case, why would he do something like that? Going that far just to have the same feature as your daughter. I mean, that's just totally...
親子に見せかけているみたい
It's like they're trying to make themselves look as much as like family as possible. He even went so far as to have the color of his prosthetic eye be the same as hers. Prosthetic eye. Those words made me stop dead in my tracks, and suddenly a massive chill went down my spine.
何なの
What's going on here? He told me all about his prosthetic left eye. In my sketchbook, I even colored that eye the same way I did Aria's. However, in that photo, both of his eyes had the same dark color. That's the eye he lost in the war. Standing next to Aria, it was very clear that their eyes were different colors. She is younger in this photo than she is now, so many of her beautiful features had already begun to mature, but she was still pretty small. I'd say she was around 10 years old in this photograph.
だとしたら
So
今
that
から
would
6
be
年前
about 6 years ago, in
1960年
1960. But the war ended in 1945.
お嬢様も私も
Neither me
まだ生まれ
nor
て
Miss
さえいない
Aria
年
had even been born yet.
天音さんが義眼になる前の写真ならその年かそれより前
If
に
this
撮
is
ら
a
れている
photo
は
of
ず
Mr.
なのに
Amane before he got his
どう
prosthetic
して
eye,
私と同い年
then
のお
it should
嬢
have been
様が
taken no later
一緒
than
に写ってる
1945. Miss Aria is the same age as me, so how could she be in the photo too? 2 children? Maybe 2 children. I was overwhelmed by a strange feeling and started to feel sick to my stomach. Is something wrong with me? Am I misunderstanding something? Did I mishear something? It was frightening that everything I saw with my own eyes and drew in my sketchbook now suddenly felt like a work of fiction. But I know that's not the case. I remember all of it. How warm it was that day, the sun beaming, the scent in the air, the moment Miss Aria and I's noses almost touched. Everything.
ダリアお母様のお気に入りの花
Her mother's favorite flower, dahlias. Come to think of it, there were dahlias in that photo too. I was so distracted I didn't even realize it until now, but that was taken in the exact same place as this painting. Of all the places I could have chosen. The flower beds were filled with big, vibrant dahlias in full bloom. Next to them was
防空壕
the air raid shelter.
あの写真に
Was
What's up,
that
Dada?
in the photo? The next day. Please don't be awake yet. Hoping this would be the case, I spoke to her in as gentle a tone as I could. I'm sorry, Miss Aria. I agonized over whether I should just see how things play out, or just be upfront and ask them about everything. After sleeping on it, I came to the conclusion that I would do neither of those things, and instead, do what I could to get closer to the truth. Asking them about it could lead to big trouble, not to mention, they'll certainly ask me about what I already know. For now, I just want to check that photo again. Whatever I find will determine my next course of action. There it is. Yep, this was the book. I'm so glad it was still here. It should still be in between the pages. Ah, just as I thought. There's no shelter in this photo. If it was there, you'd definitely be able to see it from this angle. That means this photo was taken sometime before the war, before the year 1945.
でも
But
どうして
what are they lying to me about? Is Miss Aria actually much older? Is something off about this photo? Why would they lie to me like this? Everything about this place, things that I once treated as undeniable facts, were unraveling before my very eyes. It's like I was being dragged back to where I was before I came here. I couldn't trust anything at this point. As I put my brush to the paper, I could see the watercolors spread throughout my mind. So scared. An inexplicable, anxiety-ridden wave of emotions crashed into my heart.
お嬢様
Aria. When you go around digging up other people's secrets, it's only a matter of time until something like this happens. It's also pathetic. But still, I felt the sudden, strong urge to just touch something real. With that, I walked over to Aria, who was still sound asleep. Her sleeping face was enchanting. She was right here, as real as can be. The mole on her neck. Are they just masquerading as a family? Who are they trying to fool? Maybe they're con artists? However, none of the realistic answers I could come up with were the least bit convincing. She's perfect. Too perfect, in fact. Standing in front of her like this, there's no way I could accept that.
起きてくださいお嬢
Miss
様
Aria, it's time to wake up. Her doll-like face and body, her skin as cold as a corpse, her divine visage bathed in the moonlight.
なんで
Her tiny, pure white knees peeking out from the comforter looked as smooth as ever, without a single bruise or blemish. Wait, didn't that happen like last night? Shouldn't she have a cut there? Despite the fact that, only a day before, she slammed her knees into the rough ground. How is this possible? The girl lying before me, Aria Iwakura, is a monster. She's not human. At this point, that is the most believable reality.
お嬢様
Miss Aria. Even though she was right here in front of me, I began to feel like she would disappear in the blink of an eye. I got scared, and without thinking, I grasped her hand. Miss Aria, you...
もう
Oh, it's
朝
morning already?
おはよういちこ
Good morning, Ichigo. What in the world are you? I thought that for sure would have been the end of chapter 2. It felt like the end of a chapter. Aria felt hungry pretty soon after she woke up, so she had some toast. She spread some butter, then took a bite. It seemed like that single bite was enough to satisfy her.
あんなので足りるはずない。
There's no way that's enough. I knew it was really strange, but once I saw her as non-human in that moment, I couldn't see her as anything else. But there's no way I could ever say that to her face. If I were to seriously talk about this with someone, they would probably think I'm insane. For now, I just need to act like I always do. But I was worried, because despite my best efforts, I always end up wearing my emotions on my sleeve. I should keep as much distance from them as I can until I can calm down.
できるかな。
Just wonder if I can even do that. Thankfully, it seemed like they had company today.
とりあえず、今は忙しくしておこう。それが一番気が紛れる。
For the time being, I'll try to keep myself busy. That should keep my mind preoccupied. Hey, more exploring. I'll start down here. It's Aria. This is awful. As soon as I relax even a little bit, all I start thinking about is her. That's right. There's the picture of the angel painting in Mr. Amane's room. I wonder if I can find any more information on it. I grabbed a bunch of big, heavy books from the shelf and spread them out on the floor. I can't find anything. Maybe it's not from a very famous artist? You could always ask him. It's just a painting. Like, he's not gonna be all like, oh, you know something. Why would you be asking about that? There were some baked goods and a teapot on the table. It seemed like Akari finished all the guest preparations early. The tablecloth is beautifully laid out, so I probably shouldn't fiddle with anything. With that, I started to leave the room, and that's when I noticed a container placed in the middle of the table that I'd never seen before. A strange shape. Maybe it's a sugar cube pot? I guess not. There's little bottles in here. I casually picked up one of the 2 bottles. What's in here? Seashells?
いや、違う。
No.
これは。
This? At first glance, I thought it was broken seashells, but taking a closer look, I realized that it was human nail clippings. What's in the other bottle? It's red. Is this blood? The bottle is filled to the brim with it. What's going on? I have goosebumps everywhere. Why in the world would they put something like this on the table? I broke out into a cold sweat, completely unable to comprehend the situation before me. Did Miss Yoshino set all of this up? Maybe it's not just Miss Aria and Mr. Amane that have something off about them. Seems that the gardener isn't here today. Good. There's something on the table. As I entered the dining room, I immediately noticed a strange package that wasn't there this morning. It's heavy. I wonder what's in it. Not even thinking about what could have been inside, I untied the string that was loosely keeping the package closed. I then unrolled the cloth that the contents were wrapped up in, and
包丁
kitchen knives.
それも何
I had a few of them too.
何か
Who put these here?
それ
About those. Miss Yoshino.
お疲れ
Nice to
様
see
です
you.
お疲れ様。
You too.
その包
Surely
丁
Miyauchi must have
きっと
forgotten to
宮内
take
さ
them
んの
back.
忘れ物よ。
宮内
Miyauchi.
スイが置
Sui
いていっ
left
たん
these
です
here?
か？
お得意様への手土産
One of our
は
clients had them
ここへ
delivered
届
here.
けてもらった
She
の。
wasn't in quite a hurry, so she must have
慌
left
てていた
them
な
when
ら
she was rushing over
きっ
to
と
her
別
other
の仕
job.
事を抜けて
I guess she came while I was upstairs. I didn't even notice.
それあなたから
Would you
返
make
して
sure
くだ
those
さい。
get returned to her?
あ、はい。
Yes, of
もちろんです
course. Miss Yoshino really spooked me there. I'll put these knives in the kitchen so Sui doesn't forget to grab them later. I want to relax a bit, so I think I'll make some barley tea. I can use one of those tea bags I got from Sui. Hmm. Hmm. There's someone in the hall.
あかり、口元に何かついてるよ。
You have something on your face, Sakari? Again? Are you sure?
また
今度は冗
I'm
談じゃ
not
ない。
joking this time.
ほら、
Come here.
よく
Let
見
me
せて
have a look.
嘘よ。
You're messing around.
ほくろだわ。
I'm sure it's just my mole. Guess those two really are an item. I don't like seeing Miss Ramane like that. Nor Miss Yoshino, for that matter. He really feels like a man in those moments. It makes me uncomfortable. Here's some art magazines. Maybe there's something in one of these.
あ
Oh,
った
there it is.
あの天使の
It's the
絵
angel painting.
ヒュー
It's
ゴ
by a
シン
Finnish
ベリ
painter,
フィンラン
Hugo
ドの画家
Simberg.
天使が握
An
りしめて
angel
いるの
grasps a
は
snowdrop.
松雪
Oh,
そう
the real thing is over 150 centimeters wide.
実物は横
I would have
150
thought
セ
it
ン
was
チ
so
以上
huge.
あの
There's some marks on the table from a glass. I wonder if Mr. Amane was having some drinks in here late at night. I could still smell her perfume in the air. It's a rather amorous scent. I wonder what makes me think something about a smell. It's a pretty strange phenomenon. I'll put it in the refrigerator for now. I don't know what we're putting in the fridge. That's if we picked up the knives, I'm surprised it doesn't give me something about the knives. I tried to distract myself with work, but I just got even more uneasy. I remembered the bottles filled with blood and nails. It doesn't matter if Aria is a human being or not, but there's definitely something going on in this house besides that. I just don't know what it is yet. I was certain that nothing good would come from finding out what it could be. Even a fool like me is smart enough to understand that. It's okay. I can still turn back. I could still think like that up until a few hours ago anyway.
なんでこうなっ
Why
ちゃう
did
の
things have to end up like this? It was 3:30 in the afternoon. 30 minutes had passed since today's guest showed up, and I found myself standing right next to the drawing room's window. Up until now, I didn't pay even the slightest mind as to what they were always doing in there. But after all of my recent discoveries, this is where I ended up. I know that peeping is terrible, but at this point, I'm desperate. I don't care what happens anymore. I just can't help but want to know. I don't care what I end up learning. I just want to know everything. It's kind of scary how easy it is to admit your own stupidity and depravity once you start thinking this way. Are they talking? I can hear voices, but I can't make out what they're saying. I moved even closer to the window, then looked sideways from the window frame. The sun's really strong today. I have to be careful so that I don't cast a shadow into the room. I took a peek inside through a gap in the lace curtains. Everyone in the room was sitting down, seemingly having a nice conversation. It felt like a scene from a perfectly normal afternoon. Miss Aria has a stack of sugar cubes in front of her. I guess they're having coffee. Next to that is absolutely nothing. What happened to the container with the bottles in it? Did they give it to the guest already? I should have come right away instead of waiting around. At this point, there's no reason to be looking in there. I let out a deep sigh and started moving away from the window. At that moment, I noticed someone standing up in the room. Oh, are they leaving already? I took a closer look and could see the back of a man in a suit. He slowly approached Aria, then kneeled down before her. What is this guy doing? Just as I began to think that something was amiss, the man grabbed Aria's dress and pulled it up over her knees. What? He wrapped his massive hands around her exposed white calves. His hands were so big, it looked like he could snap her leg in half with one hand. Then, the man brought his face up to her left leg. He pressed his face up against it like a dog, persistently rubbing his cheeks. After that, the tips of their noses touched, and then their lips. That's when Aria... She didn't say a word, only stared at the man's face. Holding my breath, I backed away from the window and sprinted to the kitchen's back door as fast as I could. When I finally opened my mouth, I could barely breathe. Even just standing there, I felt like I was drowning. What did I just witness? What was that man doing to her? Disgusting. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I didn't know what I thought I was going to see when I looked in there. But I definitely witnessed something that I never could have imagined. It was even more raw and even more depressing than I thought it could be. It was horrible. I can't believe that Miss Aria would allow this to happen. Mr. Amane was right there next to them. What was he even doing there? The image of the drawing room with the man in the suit and Aria looking down at him were forever seared into my mind, like a mental photograph. My arms were hot from the sunburn. The unobstructed sunlight was beating down on me. I peered in from the side of the window frame to avoid casting a shadow into the room. The sunlight was shining into the room in various spots, though. In fact, next to Aria, there was a shadow. It was a semicircle with a rather impressive curve. That stylish window, the one I have seen countless times since I came to the residence, was the thing casting that shadow. The mental image I so desperately wanted to forget was now even more vivid than before. My hand trembled as I held the pencil. I began to draw the window, as if I both wanted to leave behind some kind of evidence and confirm my suspicions at the same time. Wait a minute, I know this shape. Sweat was dripping from my forehead down to my temples. Even though it was scorching hot outside, this was a cold sweat. There was something they definitely don't want me to know about here. I just needed to pursue this a little more.
あの窓だけじゃない。
It's not just that window. The fountain sleeping angel I drew on the first page of my sketchbook. Oh, it has the same symbol. And there. The mantle in the dining room.
やっぱり
I knew it. Looking over my sketchbook, I noticed that windows with this exact same design were scattered all around the residence.
もしかしたら皿の模様にもあったかも。
Maybe even the plate has the same design?
でももっと
I
は
know.
っきりとどこか
I
で見た。
know I've very clearly seen this somewhere. Check your room! It was hiding in plain sight amongst the scenery I took in every day. Maybe I saw it when I was admiring the incredible
違
ceilings?
う
No,
違うあれは
that's not it. I saw it in... As I recalled everywhere I've been in the house, I suddenly felt like I was kicked in the
あ
head.
の隠し部屋だ。
The hidden room. Oh, the
あの
hidden
隠
room.
し部屋の
It was on the
壁にあった。
wall in there. The door to the drawing room was still closed. It didn't seem like Amane's secretary, Akari, was in the drawing room or the study. Now's my only chance. I wanted to be as quiet as possible, so I took my shoes off. Then I made my way up the stairs in my bare feet. The hidden room is between Miss Aria's room and Mr. Amane's room.
お嬢様の部屋からも入れるのかな。
I wonder if I can get in there from her room, too.
二人の部屋。
Which room should I go to? Ooh. It feels like this is a big decision. Like, if there's multiple endings, it feels like this is one of those deciding moments. I want to check out Miss Aria's room. Considering the layout of the house, if you were going to the hidden room from here,
衣装部
closet,
屋。
you'd
その
enter
ど
from
こ
the
かに
dressing
扉
room.
があるはず。
There has to be a door in there somewhere.
脱いだ靴邪魔だ。
These shoes are in the way. I hid my shoes behind the corner of a dresser and grabbed the dressing room's doorknob.
あの部屋に入った時、
Was there another door on the other side of the hidden room?
思い出せない。
I can't remember. There's no mirror in here like the one in Amane's room. I pushed the dressers out of the way, searching for a hidden door. If there was another door in here, that means Mr. Amane and Miss Aria would be able to meet in here without anyone else in the house ever noticing. This idea was now ringing in my mind. I don't know what they are using that room for, but it made me feel very ill at ease. After all, I did just witness that scene from earlier. No, I don't want to think about that. I have to stay
いや今は
focused.
そうだ。 扉
Let's
付き
see.
の
Oh,
あっち
maybe
のパ
that
スワードだ。
wardrobe could be it.
違うか。
Nope. Maybe you can't actually get in there from here. I mean, I have no real basis for this idea, so I wouldn't be shocked if this was a dead end. Still, when I think of how many lies I must have told and have to keep track of,
これ
these are winter clothes that she wouldn't be wearing right now. Pushing aside the heavy coats and dresses, I noted something that looked like the handle of a sliding door. I guess there really was one. I reached out and grabbed the handle. I was so nervous. I could feel my heart throbbing from head to toe. My veins felt like they were going crazy. There's the semicircular window. As for the symbol, I stepped into the pitch black room and looked around at the walls. There's no switch here. Maybe it's further inside?
この部屋
It
あの
looked
日のま
exactly
ま
the
だ。
same as when I last saw it. I flipped the switch, and my field of vision gradually opened up as I got used to the light. My memories of this room has slowly begun to fade and feel less and less like something that really happened. But the moment I stepped in here, it all came rushing back. Is that a syringe on the desk? Next to it is a folded up plastic sheet. It looked like a really big one, like one that people would use on a farm. The walls were lined with lethal weapons, too scary to even touch, just as they were before.
この部屋
What
本当
could
に
they possibly be using this room for? I held my breath and looked around the room. That's when, perhaps it was because I was so terrified, but I felt like the walls were closing in on me. It's hard to breathe. I have to get out of here.
あの
There
羽
it
の
is. It's semicircular. I turned around and saw the semicircular symbol on a banner hanging on the wall.
やっぱりやっ
I knew
ぱり
it.
ここだった
I knew it was here.
この印屋敷中に
The symbol is all
何
over
か
the
由緒ある
residence.
ものなのかな。で
I
も
wonder if there's some kind of history behind it. It certainly doesn't look like a family crest. I reached my hand out as if I was drawn to it. Everywhere else in the house, it's blended into the design so that it easily goes unnoticed. So why is it on full display in here? My middle finger trembles as I reached out and softly touched the symbol.
おや
Oh my. Mr. Amane, it's not
違うんです。
what it looks like.
その
This is bad. My mind's gone totally blank. I can't get a single word to come out.
なんだそうか
I see. It seems like you knew about this room after all.
いつからかな
When did you discover it? Today? Or sometime before? What could I possibly say to him that make him forgive me for both knowing about the room and stepping foot into it like this? I truly had no idea.
ん
I'm so sorry.
私
I...
責めているわけじゃないんだただ少し気
I'm
にな
not
って
accusing you of anything, you
まさ
know.
か
I'm just a little
話す前に
concerned.
見つけて
I
しま
think you would find this room before we could tell you.
アリアはまだ早いと
Aria said it was too soon. But seeing how much it seems to have frightened you, I think it may have been better if we told you sooner. Amane seemed awfully calm and spoke in his usual gentle tone of voice. However, I wasn't registering a single word he was saying.
でも、これ
But
で
there's
待
no
つ
need to
必要
wait
がな
anymore.
くなった。
I will now ask you to clean
こ
in
れから
here
は
as
掃除も
well.
頼む。いや、
Oh,
気が
perhaps
早い。
I'm being a little hasty.
その
At
様
this
子じゃ
rate,
出
you
て
might
行く
ask
と
to
言われる。
leave. Is he not upset with me? What's with him asking me to clean here?
あの、
Excuse me,
すみません。
what is
こ
this
の部
room?
屋、
おっと、失礼。
Oh,
話は
sorry. We'll talk about that later.
もうお客様がお帰りになる。
Our guest is getting ready to
少し
leave,
ここで
so
待っていて
please wait here for a bit.
安心して。
Don't
すぐに
worry,
戻る
I
よ。
will be right back. Alright, so I think we're finally going to get some answers. But so the thing with her knee, for the fact that she like gouged it and the next day it was gone, she's either a vampire or she has prosthetic limbs as well. Those are my two guesses. Probably not vampire though. Probably prosthetic limbs. Amani grabbed something off the shelf and with that dashed out of the room. I was so tense and nervous that at some point my entire body had gone completely numb, but I was gradually starting to get some feeling back now. He was smiling. Seeing him calm and composed like that, maybe I wasn't in any particular danger.
ここはただのもの
Would this room really just
ほ
be for storage? You're an idiot!
でも、お嬢様はま
What
だ
he said about
早い
Miss Aria saying it was too
言ってたって
soon. I don't
そ
get
れ
it.
ってどういう
What was he talking about?
いちこ
Ichiko,
お嬢
Miss
様
Aria,
まったく
you're
困った
quite the
ものね
problem child. You're so
臆病な
timid
くせ
yet
に
so
知りたが
incredibly
りね
curious. She said this with amazement as she appeared before Amane. Narrowing her gentle eyes at me. She looked beautiful, no matter where she was. With that smile of hers, I could accept anything she had to say. Rosie found the best version of Do They Know It's Christmas Ever? Oh. Is it posted in your Discord? It's instrumental. You can post it. Heck yeah. I will check it out when I have a chance. With that smile of hers, I could accept anything she had to say. Which is exactly why I can't let myself be deceived. What's with this room? What about that photo of you as a kid? Who was that man earlier? Do note though, it's Xmas music. Whatever, that's fine. It's all good technically. If I listen to Ice Nine Kills, I will eventually listen to a Christmas song because they have a song called Merry Xmas. So sometimes you just run into it without, sometimes you just run into it, She thinks I don't know anything.
いちこ
Ichiko,
お嬢様
Miss Aria,
私
I don't know what's going
もう
on
何が
with this
何だか
room, with
この
you.
部屋も
I don't understand any of it.
このお屋敷は何なんです
Comfy
か
and soft.
ここで
Very
何が起
nice.
きているんですか
At least it's going to be something different, because I feel like every Christmas you basically only have Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree and Silent Night. That's all places ever fucking play, I swear. What is with this house? What is going on here? As long as the song's about instruments, not trying to peddle shit about Chris and God and heaven. Like, it's fine if you believe in that. I don't care what religion you follow. As long as you're not hurting people, as long as it's accepting of like the LGBTQ community and other races and you're not trying to shove it in people's faces. Like, yeah, be inclusive. Don't be a dick and don't hurt people. Like, that's, as long as your religion is that, you practice whatever fucking religion you want. I don't care. You've talked about this before. I like when music is about music, not the words. I do kind of vaguely remember this because, like, if it was really about the words, we wouldn't listen to Japanese music. Like, we don't understand Japanese. But we can still enjoy the songs. Like, poetry is pretty good. Depends on the poetry. Some of it's really fucking cheesy. Oh, it seems like this room isn't the only thing you know about. Well, it's hard to say. What I do know, what I don't know, I can't make sense of it. Indeed. In that case, you're better off not knowing. The reason why I like Japanese vocals is the inflection of their words changes the word entirely. It's very precisely enunciated. Thus it becomes melodic very easily. Okay. I didn't even know that about it. So one word can mean something if you pronounce it a different way. Like let's say there's two pronunciations of a word. If you pronounce it as pronunciation A, okay, yeah. I only knew about the second one. I don't know what the first one means, so I don't even know if I want to say it. Because, like... Oh, the other one means scary. Okay. I know which one means cute, because, you know... I'm pretty sure most people who watch anime can pick up on that, you know? Because you have absolutely nothing to gain. How could you say that to me? Especially after the terrible things I went through? I just want to properly understand. Just know what's going on. I want to know anything and everything about you, Miss Aria. I see. I'm glad to hear that. I guess it's not too late for you to find out. I thought for sure that she would push me away, but instead, she nodded at me, then walked over to one of the shelves. What is she looking for? Aria is acting like she is trying to show me something. What could it possibly be? If I had known what I was about to see, my cowardly self would have never in a million years said that I want to know more about her. Hey, Ichiko? Aria turned to face me, grasping a knife. What? Miss Aria, why? What are you? Listen to me. I won't blame you. Even if an autumn spent together with you never comes for me. Miss Aria! I instantly stretched my arm out, but I couldn't reach her. Aria rolled up her sleeve to expose her arm, and without even the slightest bit of hesitation, plunged the knife into it. She cut a straight line from her wrist up to her elbow. What the fuck kind of it? What the fuck kind of transition was that? Why would you end the chapter there? That's a stupid place to end the chapter. Because now I feel like I need to keep going. What the fuck? My sleeve is caught in something. No, my head is escaping. My has been so good and it just tried to escape. Stay. How are you feeling, Roz? Because you said you were exhausted and tired earlier, so. Now that work is far from done, how you doing? You're still exhausted? Your legs hurt? Oof. Can you even have a bath with the way your shower is designed? Because, like, you could always soak your legs, but you basically need to be in a bath for that. Ooh. Yay. Yeah. You can't even do probably the best thing without taking medication. The best thing without taking some medication that would probably help. Like maybe some ice packs or a heat pack would work. Like massage, but yeah. Soaking them would have probably been so much better. Blood came gushing out of the fresh wound. Why? My throat was so tight that I felt like I was suffocating. What just happened? Why did she do this? The blood was flowing out all at once, trickling down her elbow, then dripping on the floor. Her pure white dress was now stained red. Seeing all the blood helped me come to my senses. Miss Aria. To the topic just a bit ago. Popped another song, Japanese. In my Discord? Okay, alright. Again, I will take a look at them when I have a chance. Ugh. Sorry, I feel like I can't almost constantly, well not constantly, occasionally need to adjust the wig because at some point I feel like, oh, I can feel the weight of the wig. And that's all like, this kind of helps with the weight a bit. No, why did this have to happen? I ripped off my apron and pressed it tightly against the wound. However, the wound must have been quite deep, because my spotless white apron instantly became bright red, and even when there wasn't a speck of white left on the apron, the wound was still bleeding quite badly. Turn the vocals into an instrument. Sax, guitar, keyboard, harmony of the music isn't changed. Absolutely. Is that how you know you have some good music? Like, I honestly haven't listened to, like, new stuff recently, like, the popular stuff. So, like, I don't even know if you could do that with popular pop music these days. Probably not. Again, I don't listen to that kind of stuff. Like, there's a hair stuck there. Yep. 1994? Ooh, nothing wrong with that. Over 30 years old. And it still holds up in your book. Like, it could be nostalgia, but like, I do feel like some of us go to like some of the old school 90s stuff and are like, yeah, this still jams. Like, Roz, I know you don't usually listen to a lot of like current music, but at some point someone did a new remixed version of Blue by Eiffel. I can't remember. It had a number at the end of it. But yeah, they remixed Blue. And it was so bad. I hated it. Eiffel 65, thank you. Yeah. I don't know who did it. I don't know who did the remake for Blue, but it was like, it was so bad. You have a surprise? Ooh. Posted in the usual. On. Stop.
困ったわね。
Oh my.
少しや
It
りすぎ
seems I
てし
may
ま
have
ったの。
overdone it a bit.
イチコ君、君は
You
下がっ
can
ていい
leave,
よ。
Ichiko. I will
私が
handle
代わろう。
this.
あまねさん。
It's Ramane.
大丈夫だよ。君
It's
は手
fine.
を洗ってきな
Now
さい。
go wash your hands.
血は落ち
Blood
に
is
くい
hard to
から
get off, so please
あちこ
don't
ち
go
に触れ
around
ないよう
touching
に気をつけ
everything.
まったく。
My goodness. You're so
潔いのは
graceful,
いい
but I
け
wish you
ど、
would tone it down a bit.
もう少し手
Now
加
we'll
減し
need
て
to
ほ
get
しい
new
な。
ones tailored. With that, he had Arya sit on the side of the bed and proceeded to stop the bleeding using a towel he must have had ready to use. He sounded troubled, but somehow also playful. I was so confused. How are they so calm about this? I can't stop shaking, and for some reason, I look like the crazy one here. But I know I'm not crazy. What's crazy here is, despite Amane stepping between us, Arya looked me right in the eye.
いちこ。
Ichiko? She softly called my name, her lips just barely parting as she spoke. What was she trying to say? My throat was so tense that I let out a weird squealing sound.
お風呂。
Beth. What?
お湯を溜めてきてくれる？
I'd like to have a bath once this stops bleeding.
お風呂に入
Would
り
you
たい
get
の。
it ready for me?
熱いお湯がいいわ。
Posted one 15 years ago by a YouTube
体温
musician.
が下がっ
Alright,
て
sounds
寒い
good.
から。
Please make it nice and hot. Bleeding makes your body temperature drop, so I'm getting cold. And it still holds up. Hell yeah. I was at a complete and total loss for words. What in the world is she talking about? I couldn't make sense of anything that was happening around me, and my mind just went blank. All I could do was listlessly look down at my hands. The best version of Blue. Okay. My fingertips were wet, and my palms were dry in various places. The clothes hanging there will get dirty if I head out into the dressing room. Hmm?
ああ、
Oh, please go out this
Kara
way. This side is
私の部屋に
connected to my
繋がっている。
room. I nodded, then stepped out of the room with my head still spinning. I wanted to think of something, anything, but nothing came to mind. Can I get
涼しい。
answers, please? It's cool in here. Walking to the bathroom, I could feel my face start to cool down. My forehead was drenched in sweat. I should wash my hands. I turned on the faucet. My head started spinning as I noticed I left a big smear of blood on the shiny brass handle. All I could see in that moment was a flash of red. The shock of seeing that snapped me out of whatever daze I was in. There was so much blood. There's no way she'll be okay with such a deep wound like that.
聞いて。
Listen to me. I won't blame you, even if an autumn spent together with you never comes for me. That's what she said while she looked at me, grasping the knife. How did it come to this? Was it because I told her I wanted to know more? At this point, everything makes even less sense. What was she trying to tell me, pulling a stunt like that? I could hear footsteps coming from the hallway. I turned to see Aria coming through the bathroom door, looking at my hands as she saw me kneeling there on the floor. There's still blood all over your hands. You need to use soap. I looked up and saw her bandaged arm and skirt covered in blood. I'm sorry. I'll get your bath ready. Before that, though... How should I go about this? What should I do first? Let's get your clothes cleaned up, Miss Aria. I need to get you some clean ones. There's no point. This dress and your apron are beyond salvageable at this point. My father will get new ones, so you don't have to worry about that. The bandage was wrapped tightly around her skinny arm. A faint bloodstain was visible on the surface of the bandage. Her arm was perfect, beautiful, without so much as a scratch on it. So why? I'll go ahead and get the bath warmed up. Is there anything else I can do while we wait? Anything else? Suppose there is. Will you listen to what I have to say? Of course I will. I quickly nodded. Then Aria smiled at me as if she was a bit relieved. I'm sure you have a lot of questions after seeing everything in that room, but something I need to tell you first. You see, Ichiko, I am incapable of feeling pain. What? She can't feel pain? What did you say? You heard me, didn't you? I told you, I'm incapable of feeling any pain. She looked quite serious. I thought I must have misheard her, but I didn't imagine that. Seriously? It's not some sick joke? My, seems like you don't believe me. I mean, come on, there's no way there's people out there who can't feel pain. There is, though, and one of them is right in front of you. How else do you think I can be so calm and collected despite all this? I had gone silent without even realizing it. Looking back at what just happened, it's true that Aria didn't show even the slightest bit of hesitation before plunging the knife into her arm. She didn't writhe in pain, scream, or even change her expression. She just asked me to draw a bath for her. It really doesn't hurt at all? Even now? Not at all. You could stick your finger in the wound or twist my arm, and I would be fine. Wanna try? Stick my finger in the wound? Why would you say that? I'd never do that. Really? I guess you believe me then? When you ask so directly, Okay then? Is this something you had since you were born? Or at least as far back as you can remember? No, this happened to me later in life. I first noticed it when I was 16. When she was 16. Her words startled me because she spoke as if this happened sometime in the past. A young Aria, the garden without the air raid shelter, and a younger Amane. The two photos I saw overlapped in my mind with the image of her right in front of me. How many years ago was that?
知っているのはあの部屋の
Well
存在だ
then,
けじゃないのね。
seems like that room wasn't the only thing you knew about.
いいわ。どうせまだお湯もたまらない。
Very well. The bath isn't ready yet, so come with me, Ichiko.
あなたが知り
I'll
たい
tell you
ことを教えて
everything you
あげ
want
る。
to know. Looking out the window, I could see the sun had just about finished setting. There were already tons of stars visible in the twilight sky as they emitted a faint light.
あなたが何を見てどこまで知っているのかはわから
So
な
I
いけれ
don't
ど。
know what you have seen or how much you already know. As she said this, she took her finger and flipped through the book about woodblock prints.
ずっとそばに持っている母との写真。
I always keep this picture of my
裏
mother
霞ヶ
close
関
to
から
me.
この
This
屋
was
敷に
taken
越し
around
て
the
きた
time
頃
we
よね。
moved from Urakazumigaseki to this house.
私はまだ5歳だっ
I was only 5 years old.
た。5歳。
5.
1938年。今から
That was
28
1938,
年前ね。
28 years ago. She's in her 30s? So she hasn't aged since she's like... Yeah, she basically... It seems like she hasn't aged since she was like 16. Oh my gosh. "28 years ago. So this photo really was taken before the war, which would mean Miss Aria is... She was much older than I was told, and from a completely different generation. Still, while the woman before me very well may be a grown-up, she can never pass for any older than about 20. This isn't just a matter of someone looking younger than their age. It's almost like her body stopped aging.
その頃はよく熱を出して、お母様には心配ばかりか
I
け
used
て
to
いた
get
わ。
fevers a lot back then, and my mother would always get so worried.
生まれつき皮膚や
I
髪の
was
色
born
素が
with
薄
pale
くて
skin and light hair,
体
and
も
my
強
body
くな
was
かった
always
の。
frail.
楽になったのは
It
10
wasn't
代に
until
な
I
って
was
か
in
ら。
my teens that things started to get better.
体調も随分
My
安定し
condition
て、
stabilized quite a bit,
戦時中
and I
も
was
こ
able
こで
to live here
不自由
without
な
any
く暮らしたの。
hardships even during the war. Even
空襲
during
の
the
時
air
で
raids,
さ
I knew almost
屋
nothing
敷の
about
外
what
の
was
ことを
happening outside the
私
confines
は
of
ほ
this
とんど知ら
property.
ない。焼け野原になった東京の写真を見たの。
I
戦
only
争
knew
が終
about
わ
all
った
the
後、
destruction in Tokyo when I saw photos after the war. I remember it
それも
vividly.
16
After
の
all,
時
I
だった
was 16 at the time.
1949年。ちょうどそ
In
の年の年末、
1949, right at the end of the
と
year,
ても
I suffered a very
大きな
serious
怪我、
injury.
痛みを感じない体質になったの。
My inability to feel
それ
pain
から
started after that. That was the year I was born. Ever since then, she...
怪我の後遺症ですか？
Was that an after effect of your injury?
わからない。ただ、年が明ける
I
とそう
don't
な
know.
っていた。
However, the new year began,
容姿も
and
その
that's
頃から
how,
変わった
and
よ
that's just
ね。
how I was. My appearance hasn't changed since then either.
それは数年経ってから人に言われて気がついたこ
I
とだ
honestly
けど。
didn't even notice until someone pointed it out to me several years later. She was speaking about everything so plainly and matter-of-factly that it was making everything she was telling me very hard to believe. Nevertheless, I'm staring at someone who has something going on with their body that I just can't explain away with common sense. No matter how much I question it, I don't think I'll find an acceptable answer. If Miss Aria's body was artificial, though, that would be a very different story. I looked down again at her wounded arm. It didn't seem like much more blood had soaked into the bandage than before.
あ、もう血は止まったみたいね。
あ、
よかっ
It
た。
seemed like it finally stopped
これで
bleeding.
見せてあげられる。
Great, now I'll be able to show you. Huh? Oh, Miss Aria, please don't! In a matter of moments, the bandage was completely unwrapped. Despite my objection, she went to touch the wound, even with me reaching out to stop her. Wait, didn't she say it doesn't hurt if she touches it? No, even still! Why did you take off your bandages? Now you'll need new
よ
ones.
く見て、いちこ。
Take a good look,
もう
Ichiko.
包帯は必
I
要
won't
な
be
いわ。
needing new bandages. She wants me to look, but then what? I did as she asked and peered at the wound, terrified of what I might see. That's when I immediately noticed something strange.
これ
Is that
かさ
a scab? Despite how deep the wound was and how much she bled, it was no longer raw. Instead, there was a dry scab that had already formed on the raised skin.
嘘もう
No
治り
way.
かけてる
It's already starting to heal? Okay, I'm sorry. Now I'm even more convinced of the vampire theory. Gotta be kidding me. Hasn't aged at all. Heals almost instantly. I'm sorry, but she's a vampire. They're probably not gonna come out and say it, but vampire. Even if this were only a light scrape, enough time has passed where there would still be stuff coming out of the wound.
これが見せたくて肌を切ったの
I cut myself so I
話を
could
聞
show
くだけ
this
で
to you.
とても信じ
You
られ
would
ない
never
でしょ
believe me if I just told you without any proof.
私の体は
Not feeling pain is isn't the only thing going on with my body. After saying this, she continued to speak in the same matter-of-fact manner as before. The paper cut she had on her finger earlier was completely gone. She realized that it would be hard for her to die shortly after she noticed that she didn't feel pain anymore. Nobody would think that she is strong just by looking at her, but her injury healed abnormally fast. Even if she is seriously injured or breaks a bone, it only leaves her feeling under the weather for a little while, and in short order, she's completely back to normal. She lost so much blood. This is not normal. Aria Iwakura is a monster. These are the words that suddenly played in my mind as I looked over her while she slept. Her skin is white and cold. It looks like the scrapes she had on her knees from the fountain are totally gone. Even when she dislocated her arm, she didn't feel even the slightest bit of pain.
本当に
I guess this
そういう
really is how you are.
お嬢
Are
様
you
の体は
immortal? Like those
おとぎ
characters in
話に出
fairy
てくるような
tales?
それじゃ
Just
あ
like some
まる
monster,
で化け物みたいね
right? Mm.
でもどうかしら
But you know,
腕を
if
切
I
り離した
amputated
り
my arm or
内
ripped
臓
out
を
my
入れ
internal
たり
organs,
そん
I'm
なこ
pretty
とを
sure
す
I
れ
would
ば
die.
どんな怪我をして
While
も
I
痛
may
くは
not
ない
feel
け
any
れど
pain from my injuries,
感じるの
I do feel them.
最後に近づくと
I will definitely know when I'm near the end.
こんなにおかしな体
While
で
there
も
are abnormalities,
人間の体
I
ですも
still
ん
have a human body after all.
老いが目に
Even
見
if
え
my
ないこ
aging
と
may
は
not be visible, I'm certain that I will die
あるはずよ
someday.
そう
Yes,
その
I'm sure
運命
that
の
when
時は
it's my time, death will come. It's like Aria was trying to tell me that she wasn't a monster, almost like she knew what I was feeling in my heart. A human body. Her cheeks had gone pale without me even realizing it. They suddenly stood out to me now.
お嬢様
Miss Aria. When I gently pressed my hand against her skin, it felt awfully cold. She will know when she's near the end. Is her body temperature making her feel that way? I hastily filled the bathtub with hot water and left the bathroom. I could feel Arya's presence as she took off her clothes on the other side of the door. She said that she has a naturally low body temperature, but was her skin that freakishly cold because she lost so much blood? There have been many days where her skin has felt deathly cold. Does that mean she sustained terrible injuries on those days, just like she did today?
どうして
Why?
何をして
What is
そんな
making her... Because they sell her blood to clients as like a, I don't know, anti-aging serum or something. Ichiko.
あマネ
Mr. Amane.
さん
今日は
My
いろいろと
apologies for all
驚
the
かせてしま
surprises
ってす
today.
まなかった
How should I even respond to that? It's like I'm tongue-tied.
無理しなくていい
No need to push yourself.
戸惑うのは
It's only
当然だ
natural to feel perplexed by all this. I'm guessing Aria told you about how things work for her, but I have some more things to tell you. However, I think that can wait until tomorrow. You don't look so well, so please get some rest once Aria has gone to bed, okay? Amane gently patted me on the shoulder as if to reassure me, then returned to his bedroom. He must know everything about this. Maybe that's why he's being so calm. Well, duh. Still, being able to still be so calm after seeing that makes me feel like something's a little off about him too. He closed the door, and with that, the hallway was completely silent once again. Seeing her like that, covered in blood, that... In the silence, a sudden surge of anxiety began to well up in my heart. Miss Aria! Don't startle me like that. You're alive. You heard me, right? If I was dead, who would you be talking to right now? I let out a huge sigh of relief upon hearing her exasperated reply. In that moment, I felt the tension in my body dissipate, and a wave of exhaustion wash over me. Feeling completely spent, I squatted down in front of the door, and just spaced out as I stared at the wallpaper in front of me. That's fucking bright! I'm like basically out of water. Okay, yeah, I think I need to stop doing this because my throat, I can feel it in my throat. I was able to go a little longer. Yeah. I am going to just put up the BRB screen though, because I do need to go get more water anyways, and we're just going to, I think we're just going to switch to Silk Song for a bit, alright? I will be right back, everyone.